What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel and
my new car. No, I'm just kidding. It's actually Derek's new daily. It's a 19 B9 SQ5. We just did some 034 lowering links on it. I'll show you the result after. Right now it's in all-road mode, so it looks a little bit higher. I didn't really want to do an install video on that because it's fairly straightforward. But what today's video is about is the front end of this car. That's right, we've got Canadian Auto Performance back on the channel again for like the 4th time, I think. We're going to be doing the RS front grill with the smaller grill at the bottom. I guess it's called the Quattro grill. And we're going to be doing the side grills as well. That's going to match the honeycomb that's in the bottom part of the big grill. So overall, it should look pretty good. Should be a pretty straightforward install. It looks very similar to my car, not the Q3, but the S4, where we're going to pull the bumper off. We're going to do all that. All that's going to be the same. But then here, where it actually attaches, it should come off just like the S4 did. Very first thing, as with both of my previous installs, this comes off, this cover comes off. There's probably 2 to 4 Torx up here. Then we're going to move to the fenders, and this is going to be similar to the Q3 because it has this trim piece. So we're going to have to pop the trim piece off first up to about here. Then we'll go ahead and access the screws that are back there on both sides, and then we're going to get underneath of it, get the screws from the bottom, and that should get everything loose to take the bumper off. Another thing he's doing is that he purchased clear reflectors, so we're going to take these off as well and put in the clear ones. I showed him the color match ones, but they are a bit expensive, and the lead time on them is like 2 months, I think. So we're going to go clear for now. Maybe we'll go color match in the future. All right, so now that the hood release and the cover are off, I can see there is just 2. So this is kind of like the Q3. If I'm not mistaken, the S4 had 4, but we've got one here and one over there, and they are a T25 Torx. So we're just going to go ahead and take those out now so I don't forget them later. Then we're going to move on to the fender well. And just in case you were wondering, we are outside under the 10x10 again. The S4 is still back there in the garage because I'm creating a new bracket to hold my airlift manifold, and right now it's aired out and it's not moving. Miles, I know you said you wanted some warmer temperatures. Today the feels like is about 96 and it's terrible, so hopefully you get some warmer temperatures soon and I get some cooler temperatures. All right, so I have got the bottom part of the trim off. One thing to note, different than the Q3, there is a Torx right up under there. It's a T20. Once you get that off, you just go through with a plastic trim removal tool and pull the rest out of the bumper. Now we're gonna go after the screws in the fender liner. There was like 3 of them, and I'll move on to the other side. All right, so this side has all these screws out. One thing to note on the SQ5 versus the other cars I've done, there was one hidden behind the liner that holds the bumper to the fender, I assume. So that was right up, kind of straight up right here, behind this and behind the liner. I hope that this isn't like the S4 where there was like a screw back behind here somewhere that I never reinstalled. I'm gonna move on to the other side and then get the screws underneath, and then we're gonna try to pull on it and see if it comes off without having to remove anything under the headlight. All right, so both of the sides have all the screws undone. The little trim piece is removed. I'm gonna move underneath now and get those. There's one thing to know about Derek is that he really likes tire shine as the evidence in the side of his car, and my hands just from touching the inner of the fender. He always gets on me about my white tires. All right, so I think we are ready to pull the bumper. There were some screws along here. There was about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 12 total. You'll see them when you get up under here. They're just kind of on that tray there, and then I went ahead and preemptively pulled these out as well just in case. But I think this part comes off once we get the bumper off the car to actually pull the grill, so we'll see how that goes. I think everything is out. We are gonna try pulling on one side of the bumper and we will see if this comes off. Once we get to a point where I know it's gonna come off, we'll go ahead and record us taking off the bumper, unplugging the plug, and show you how that comes off as well. One quick thing we found, this is just like the S4. This holds the bumper to the fender. It's just a plastic push pin that's like right up against where the corner of the bumper and the fender meet, right about there. There's one on each side. You have to take this off as well, and then the bumper should come free. All right, so here's where that plastic piece goes right here. Now that that's out, you can see the bumper is already coming off. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up the camera and we'll show you getting this thing off the car. Turn it off. Just set it down. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed the view of my ass. Here is the bumper off of the car. Not too bad. Tell you what, it's a lot easier than the Q3, but I was also working by myself. one little plug right here, just like every other car I've done. Another familiar sight is all of these silver screws back here that we're gonna have to remove. One thing we're also gonna have to do is pull off this foam and wrap the crash bar because it's silver, and that's gonna be very ugly if we leave it silver. So there's the crash bar. I already went ahead and I bought matte black vinyl, so we'll get that cut, we'll get that on there. Get the grill swapped out, which I think we're gonna go inside for and soak up some of the AC if we can fit this big bumper through the door.
Look at me.
So from behind, this is how you get the side grills out. You push these two tabs, you start pushing on the grill. There's a top and bottom tab. And then as they come, go ahead and pull it out like that. And then from the front, slides right out. Those are pretty easy to get out. And then since this car doesn't have the sensors in the front, these are just a fake mock sensor that Canadian Auto Performance sends. And these are actually gonna mount right in here. You can see back here, there's already 3 holes, here, here, and down there. These go on from the front, and then they give you hardware, a nut and bolt, and that holds this to the bumper. And then you put the grill on top, over top of this.
Yay!
All right guys, we're back. I ate some pizza, we're in the house, and we have the bumper in here because, well, we're just gonna hide from the heat for a minute. So we're gonna go through and take out pretty much all of those silver screws all the way around. There's probably 20 of them. We're gonna remove the wire harness from this grill here. We're gonna unplug the sensors, and then we should be able to pull the grill out. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove all these screws, get the sensors ready, and then I'll be right back. All right, so that was actually much easier than the Q3 and even easier than the S4. The S4, I had to take off this whole bottom tray and that bottom grill right here just to get the grill off. But as I started to take the bottom tray off, Derek realized that you can actually just pull this off from the front. It slides out of the front and it comes right off. Now we just have to go through and secure all the screws in back to where they go, find a home for the wiring harness, plug the sensors back in. Then we'll go ahead and do the side grills, show you how those go on, and we'll go put this back on the car. Right, Archer? All right, guys, we are back. We've got the blanks in there. You can see the bolts there. They have nuts behind them. The nuts are like the serrated ones that lock in, so these should not come loose. Grill is on. All of the screws are in. Sensors are in. Derek is sacrificing his fingers right now with some Goo Gone to get the adhesive off so we can put the clear markers on the bumper. Just have to put the fog, just have to put the lower side grills in, and that's it. We should be able to go ahead and throw this thing back on the car and be done. And Archer is being the best helper ever. Just laying here chilling. Okay guys, we are at the point where we're gonna go put this back on the car. Side markers are back into place. What we're gonna do when we get outside is actually hit from behind with the heat gun and press in just a little bit more just to make sure that the adhesive is good. The side grills, I'm just gonna be honest, they kind of suck to put on. Once we figured out a method, it took 2 of us. He kept pressure that way so that we try to close up the gap over here. There is still a tiny gap, but my S4 is the same way. And then once we got that, I worked from behind and getting in all these clips around there. Everything's clipped into place. I've kind of smacked on it a little bit and it does not seem like it's gonna come out. So fingers crossed that these stay in and we don't have any issues. Okay, it's sun's kind of going down, so we're gonna go outside and knock this out before the mosquitoes decide to feast on us. All right, back outside. He is working the heat gun right now. You can see I went ahead and wrapped this with some matte black vinyl. We've got the temperature sensor or whatever that sensor is back on. I think it's the temp sensor, but that's back on in place. This looks pretty good. Once this is done, we'll go ahead and put the bumper back up there and show you what it looks like. We have a wild cat. I'm gonna try to speak their language. All right, so we're done. All the screws are back in. Everything is attached. Top's back on. Losing daylight fast, but we're good. So we're gonna get this off the ramps. We're gonna show you what it looks like on the ground because we did the lowering links as well. Yeah, we'll be back just in a second. All right, guys, we're done. We're done. Lowering links made a huge improvement. Again, not what this video is about, but they were more or less pretty easy to put on. Those are from 034. Yesterday, we actually loaded 034's tune on his car as well. Tried to talk him into doing an IE, but you know, he didn't listen. But the fitment is pretty good. These are 22-inch wheels. Looks very good. And then here's the front end. Sorry for the lighting, it's not the best. But fitment's very good.
So we're gonna wrap this video up. We're gonna go inside and relax. I'm gonna shower. I'm disgusting. It was very hot today, but as much as I hate the heat and as much as I feel terrible the next day after working on cars, I do love to do it. I do love to make videos for you guys. This will be number 70 officially. It's been 2-3 years, I think. So I made some pretty steady progress and I hope to make more. I want to get the Q3 off-road. I want to get the S4. I don't really know. Back on the road, sold. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. And once again, a big thank you to Canadian Auto Performance for partnering with us on the channel again. I know this isn't my car, but they were willing enough to work with me because I'm doing the video, I'm doing the review. All right, so with all that being said, don't forget to like the video if you liked it. If not, if you didn't like it, smash the like anyways. Just do it. Don't forget to subscribe. If you guys have any questions about the install, absolutely feel free to ask me. And until next time, we'll see you guys later.